The term mixed media art is a broad definition that covers many arts and crafts, including collage, assemblage, both 2D and 3D, altered objects, including books and boxes, handmade greeting cards, artist trading cards and tags, art journaling, and bookmaking. Examples of mixed media materials include paints, assorted design and thickness of paper, glues, buttons, fabrics, found objects, photos, metal bits, fibers, things from nature, inks, pencils, crayons, markers, pastels, and polymer clays, to name a few. There are several different ways that you can create mixed media art. One of the ways is through collage. A collage is a piece of art made by sticking various different materials together to create an image. Most of these projects tend to be 2D. Although they can be done with printed text or printed magazine, they're also able to be done with other materials as well. Assemblage is a piece of artwork made from scraps, junk, and odds and ends to create an image. A lot of these images are made up of different pieces of either 2D objects or 3D objects. Bookmaking is a piece of artwork made into the form of a book, which tells a story. A few examples of books that you can make are accordion, tunnel, pop-up, and star. Most books are designed in a 2D fashion, which is flat, and when put together, creates a 3D project. Altered objects are a piece of artwork that has been altered from its original design. For example, if you were altering a book, it would still look like a book, but then the overall image would not appear to be very book-like. So for example, on the bottom of this screen, there is a book. It still looks like it's a book, but the way it kind of looks like it's a merry-go-round. Artist trading cards and tags are miniature pieces of artwork that are about the size of a modern baseball card. Most of them are flat, but they do have the opportunity to have some 3D elements on them. Now, each tag or card is a mini piece of artwork with details and intricate designs on them. Art journaling is a piece of art combining art and words to express the artist's viewpoint, done in a bound book. Although these are normally done in a bound book as a sketchbook or a diary or just a journal, it is possible to create a project from this. What you would do is you'd choose some kind of saying, quote, or definition of some sort, and then create an image that goes with it. Now, the way mixed media's projects tend to be designed is through adding or developing 3 different layers, okay? As you can see from here, the underlayer is developed by adding different kinds of paper. From there, they added different kind of paint. They may have stamped and embellished or with different kind of gold, or possibly even used chalk and, kind of smudged it everywhere. Next is building it up a little bit more. So this is the middle layer. The middle layer tends to have a little bit more design. Kind of jazzes up the first layer in a way. It could be printed on. You could have a collage on there. You could do so many different things on that layer. Now the top layer tends to be where all your details are going to be. This might be a layer where you are adding in some designs with pen of some sort, or adding letters, or even making it so there's something that pops up off of your project. So when you're creating a mixed media project, it's not limited to just one media and one layer. This tends to be lots of layers. You're allowed to use lots of different mediums in here. So for example, you can see here, it may be chalk, different kinds of paper. We have, looks like ink, possible watercolor on here, pen. You might even have some oil pastels on here. So there's lots of different mediums that you can use in your project. Now, if you're wondering what can you do to your project in order to change it up so it doesn't look flat, here are a list of definitely wonderful things that you can do to your different layers. You could create, a whole page of stamps and then take that and cut that apart and create a project from it. You could drip paint or ink, apply threads, actually sew straight onto your project. You can use a little bit of, let's see, what else we got here? Dry brush, you could add foil to it. You could upcycle materials. That means take stuff that's already been used, for example, cardboard, peel it apart and use that, or add a ticket, use mail and add that. Altered handwriting. You don't have to do your own handwriting. You can either cut it out or draw some fancy handwriting on yours. So there's many different things that you can do to your project. So it's not just one flat look to it. Now, embellishments are a decorative detail or feature added to something to make it more attractive. So for example, if you have something that's all related to possible, let's see, nature, you might want to take an actual flower and glue it onto your project. It just enhances it a little bit, gives it a little bit of a 3D element, which is fine. There are tons of things that you can add onto your project, so it's just not all art mediums. So for example, you could add bows, stickers, you could add beads, wire, you can even create something in origami and glue that on. Tons of different things that you can add to your project to give that an extra little zing, or bling if you want it. Not everything in your project has to be glued down. If you want something to pop up or to not be attached, you can. And there's definitely several different ways that you can do this. It could be more of an interactive piece where things are maybe moving, spinning, possibly coming up off of the page. If you do want something to pop up so it's higher than some other things, on the bottom here, you can see that you can use a couple of different things. You can actually use cardboard and you just layer it up until you get the desired height that you want, or you can use foam core. Now, let's talk about glue and adhesives. Now, there is a huge difference between all the glues and all the adhesives of what they can do. Now, this definitely goes across the board in any project. I know it's hard to believe, but hot glue is not the catch-all for everything. Okay, different things require different mediums or different glues or adhesives. So for example, if you're looking for something to, let's say you want to add paper, okay, you want to glue some kind of paper down, you have a couple of options here. When you look through the pros and cons, you might use double-sided tape, or you might use paste, which you'll notice on the next slide. It might be a good idea. So please read through all of these so you know when you're looking for the right kind of glue or adhesive, you get the right thing without making a mess or making it look horrible. Here's an additional list for them.
all the different glues and adhesives. Although I know a lot of people tend to think that, yes, one is the best way to go, you also need to take in consideration, is this going to be the best one? Is this going to be messy? Is this going to hold? Is this going to ruin my project in any way?